Please enjoy my ridiculous eye makeup and hat as I'm going to a 70s party in a half an hour, and this is the top part of my outfit. But before I go to this 70s party, did I did a Ruba Nadda double feature. I love Ruba Nadda, and I was thinking about her film Cairo Time the other day, and so I wanted to watch more of her films, and I found that one of them was on Netflix, and the other one is available places if you look. So I saw Cairo Time a little bit after it came out, and I probably saw it in 2010. It came out in 2009, and then I saw her 2015 film October Gale during A Year with Women. I was not the biggest fan of October Gale, but I love Cairo Time. So that brings us to the two films I watched today. Very similar reactions. I loved her very first feature film, Sabah. It's from 2005. It's a wonderful romantic comedy, drama-ish, but mostly romance, about a woman named Sabah, played by Arsinée Khanjian, who is a Syrian immigrant in Canada, in Toronto, and she is 40 years old. She's yet to be married. She lives with her mother, who needs some help medically, and she's part of a very tight-knit family, and that's run mostly by her older brother after their father died. And she's 40 and managed to be unmarried, and she's just pretty okay with that. But she's starting to feel stifled, and she's looking at pictures of her when she was a child and when she could go swimming, and so she decides to go swimming and lie to her brother about what she's doing while she's off swimming. While swimming, obviously, she meets a man that she falls for. He is played by Sean Doyle, also known as the murderer in Frequency. So every time I saw him being all romantic, I was like, but you kill people. He's really good in Frequency. So I really loved the chemistry between the leads. It was palpable and lovely, and it developed naturally over a nice amount of time, and it was wonderfully plotted. I also enjoyed the interactions between all of the family members, and I felt like it felt like a true functioning family or a dysfunctioning family, and I enjoyed just all of the chemistry of everyone. And it also starred Fadia Nada, and I can't find how they're related, but she must be related to Ruba somehow. So this is just a lovely film, and I think based on the 4 films I've now seen, that I think Ruba Nadda should just make romances, because she's really good at doing romances. And when she tries to do these other kinds of films, they don't quite gel, and it's because what she does so well is creating complex characters dealing with emotions, and specifically with romantic emotions. She is a very deft filmmaker. Which brings us to the film that's on Netflix. This is 2012's Inescapable. It is not great. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. But it stars one of my favorite actors, Alexander Siddig, who was Dr. Bashir on Deep Space Nine, amongst many other things, and obviously starred in Cairo Time. He's fantastic in Cairo Time, and he's very good in this. Everyone in this film is good. It's just not a great film. And he plays a man who immigrated from Syria, but really he left Syria because he was a secret police person, and he was accused of being a spy, and the only way to live was to leave the country. He hasn't been there in 20 plus years. He left behind a fiance, played inexplicably by Marisa Tomei. She is okay, but I just why couldn't you hire an actual Syrian, or at least non-white person to play this character? I'm not really sure why Marisa Tomei had to play this character. His daughter goes missing in Syria. She was visiting. She did not know about his past, and therefore got herself into some shenanigans. He gets himself back into Syria in order to track her down with the help of the Canadian consulate, and that person is played by Joshua Jackson, actually playing a Canadian for once, and his old friend in the military, Oded Fehr. I died a little bit when Oded Fehr and Alexander Siddig shared screen time, because I love both of them so much, and it was wonderful to see them both together. And the rest of it is the sort of action thriller that you expect it to be. It does look beautiful. She's got a great eye. It was not filmed in Syria, obviously. I believe it was filmed in Johannesburg. I just think she's really good at creating complex characters, and I think her films are better when they're focused on interpersonal relationships, and there's too much action and not enough interpersonal relationship stuff in this film, and that's why it doesn't quite work. Same sort of went with October Gale. October Gale moved a little closer back to being more about interpersonal relationships, but there was still more action in it than I think she's capable of really doing. I think she should make low key character films, and I mean maybe it's harder to get a budget for a low key character film. I don't know. But this one's on Netflix, so you can watch it. And really, just watch all of her films, but start with Cairo Time because it's her masterpiece. And she has a bajillion short films that I'm going to try to track down because I'm wondering if they're closer to like Cairo Time and Shaba, or if they're closer to these sort of thrillers that she's trying to do. But anyways, this was Shaba from 2005 and Inescapable from 2012 by Ruba Nadda. You should look her up. She is a very interesting Canadian filmmaker, and I quite like her films.